So, only one that clapping this class is me, so don't clap. I will send you away and don't clap. I would a little bit disrupt this methodology some way. Anyway, so underhooks. I can do it in different ways. It's about darts, it's about underhooks, it's about escape. But I would use it to actually kind of show you how I use underhooks, and it's not me, it's like more from wrestling. And how we should do it. And then I use the methodology I use every class, pretty much in my gym. I use teaching backwards. And this is also, I would suggest that we as a community do more teaching backwards. If you have any sports science background, that's how you know things are taught. From least complexity and to the most complexity. Yeah? Because if I start, for example, with a knee slide, then the beginning is the most complex thing because there's so many choices to go left and right. And the more I go to the knee slide direction, the more accurate it becomes, more knee slide. So but actually knee slide I will always teach, every class I will teach backwards. From the most simple thing, the end, and then I build complexity and people understand. This is how actually you should teach submissions, always from the end, like a triangle. You do this triangle and then you start to create more complexity. And then you move to the openness of the triangle. And you have a totally different beast after an hour teaching this way to beginners, or if you start from like a straight away to set up and then you go to the triangle. So it's all in books. So that's how I use also this. I use it every class. I think it's then white belts and black belts can train in the same class because everybody builds their own complexity. They can start wherever they want. So a couple of endings for underhook, and then we move backwards with chunks, and then we'll see what we do. I have 3 classes this week, I think, and a workshop. So I have a baby bridge that will change your life. Yeah, not a joke. Yeah, again. And then we talk about what's the third? Arbor escapes. Yes, we have reverse hitchhike. So let's start. Not usually. So I show you the end position, and everything I say, try to do it. And his job is to help me. Go to knees. Sorry, turtle. Yes, turn this way, and you can have arms on the mat, straight arms. So I will go a single leg right now. I will show the end position, and then we move backwards. So everything I say is important, and his job is to help you a lot because it's a full body coordination. So he has to go back straight, look up, blah 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 blah. So anyway, so end position is this, where we want to go. Leg on a shelf. Wizard, take overhook. So he usually has overhook. He should, otherwise it's too easy. So my shoulder, even if he did overhook, my shoulder is behind the glutes. Everything is good. I have double leg here, and then this is stiff. And then I have this leg. So there's different takedowns. I guess you can grab the knee. I know some of you, what if they keep it away? So I don't go there too much right now, but just this is the end. Always leg up, always pushing, back straight, head looking to a horizon. This is bad. This is good. And then you have this. So I take the slack away with body. Then it's easier. In other way, I have to use more bicep. So this is the end position, one of them. Then I'm going to also talk about later about the hip. What's that underhook does. And then I talk about a little bit, I think, why underhook is a very dangerous thing to use if you're a beginner, and why you get darst and barst all the time. So one more time, without any big details. So have a good stance, tripod, shoulder goes low. He has an overhook usually, grabs my shoulder, he wants to wizard, pull me up. I'm having a lean here, so he's using my body weight, and now I have this, and then I can have a fight here. But this is all important, and you have ankle here. So not like toes are slipping already. So this is usually the finish position for a single leg. You should know or have. Okay, let's start with this, and then everybody tries a couple of times. Don't go 5 minutes one, then other guy doesn't, because I will interrupt you faster. So everybody tries, you don't get it, I will show it again. Don't worry about it. So let's go. So, by now, you should have been switched, like first person tries, you go like, you try, yeah? And that's enough already. And you both have that, then you try again, small details, you try again. So always switch. Don't go like 5 minutes, I don't get it. Yeah, then because you develop questions by your switching. And then I show it one more time. So this is how we build complexity up. Because now you know what you missed. Yeah, okay, so punch. So, anyway, not this. That's not bad, both of there. First of all, that leg. Some of you did the other leg, which I saw this, but which hip? Yeah, so leg, bad, leg pushing, good. Below the hip is very important. Don't do this, they will whizzer you up, go. They will pull you up a little bit. And you have to know more stuff. So your job is actually to finish, you have to be lower. It's even with the whizzer, it's very hard to pull you up over that bump, over the glutes. So whizzer, overhook. So really go low. And really have a like athletic position. So it's not like here, I feel like it's just everything is uncomfortable, yeah? So think about, you go here, you have a like really sprinting style. Now you can have a lean, you can push, you can fight, you have an athletic. Don't do this, they will push your head down, yeah? And then you have to suffer because of that. Don't do this, you want to lift and push. Everything is there, so everything is accurate, now I can drive, yeah? So those things are very, very important. Anyway, a little bit more, and then we maybe take a step back. Let's go. Now we have the chunk, so you can do 1, 2. You can have only the new chunk, or you can have 1, 2. So always you can repeat what we did. So don't worry about if you don't get it, because we will just move back and you can always do the sequence. You can always do the sequence. You can always do, everything makes more sense. And sometimes if you learn, if you know anything about learning, then you have to forget. You have to change your, you have to reset. Yeah, if you only do this for 5 minutes, you get super angry at yourself. You need a reset. If you play video games, yeah, some Assassin's Creed point which drives you nuts, you know, then you go like, do something else. Then go back, it was so easy. So you need a reset, yeah? So this means also when you get that chunk back, you get the rest of that position. And afterwards, after this, you do a new chunk, you go back, something is different, you actually reset it. Yeah, there's studies, people like throwing basketballs and doing push-ups. And those who do just free throws will have a worse result than ones that do push-ups between. Because you reset. So it's important. Anyway, so now we're here. A wizard? So now our elbow is on the mat, I have a knee tap and elbow is on the mat. It's very, very important, then his omoplatas are gone. So I need that ankle. And by the way, don't slide. That's a seal feet, laces down, toes on the mat, because I have to lean all the time. Because he's doing it wrong purposely, because he has to lean also. Because eventually he has to lift the leg, left leg. Now we're leaning back, now we're managing that stress and now it's harder. But right now studying, it's easy for me at the moment, yeah? So, and don't do this toes, it's weird toes, some of you had those. Yeah, just don't, okay. So, anyway, and now the next step is get the ankle, it's a fight a little bit, and get the leg to the shelf. And get the shoulder behind the glutes. So, usually, you don't have to do a drill here, you lift as less as possible, yeah? Your body away, and then you shrunk that shoulder in there. So, we get here. We have this, we have whizzer, they're fighting us a little bit, yeah? So we want to have a single leg, and then you lift as much separation here, as little, sorry, and then double knee, and then you shrunk that shoulder in, and now you're always leaning. And if you don't have wrestling background, people will pull guard from here, because they see everything is gone. So if they're stubborn, they're gonna fight for that, you know, they're gonna kick out or something, they try to run away. Like a Rustam Chishev style, you know, if you have seen this fight, he just kicks out and stuff, runs, so kind of wrestling base. So usually people are, you know, I want that leg higher, so I have more gravity and they have head are lower, legs higher. The scrambling rules of wrestling is, what it is, higher man wins, attack their legs, and put their weight on their arms, upper body. So that's the scramble rules in wrestling. I want to have a higher gravity. So they're always like fighting and their arms are heavy, so that's the whole point, and this kind of does the job. So one more time, I resetted your visual with the talk. Now I'll show one more, so it's easier, so you can see, okay? Elbow on the mat, important. Kneecap, underhook, overhook. Here, open as little as possible. Leg on a shelf, nicely. Leaning, toes back straight. And now, you're good. Okay, let's go. Back straight, head up. Toes on the mat, always leaning. Now we go one step back again. And why not we get to side control? Some way of side control. But, and then I hope I have time. All the time when I watch other people doing classes, their time drags. I'm like, they're teaching so much and it's only 10 minutes. I'm already done. It's like, God damn, it's already 20 gone. Time flies differently when I'm teaching. So, another thing, you're here, we get more to the side control-ish positions and maybe even defending darces and barces. So, I have a turn. So, elbow is off, right? But you can have this also. That's a good start. So, kind of running man-ish position. If you're familiar with my work, running man. So, here, head in. This is bad. They can do stuff more. I have here, I'm driving also, and now I have to go between the legs. So I don't go here. And then, that's a version you can have, not bad. But you can also have this right away and driving, yeah? So the key is to have elbow. And why elbow on a mat? Because they can't sprawl. But they can do en plata, rolling en plata. So that's the transition you have to manage. Because if you put the elbow on a mat, you have to drive, because they will try to roll. And that's always the fight is win and lost in transitions. So, because everything has to be then done against what he has to do. So if my elbow is here, yeah, try to roll over the shoulder, no, just roll, yeah, that's all plot. Yeah, so that's the transition you have to manage later. It's not the most high percentage on plata, but it's there, so you have to know. Anyway. And the weird stuff is if I have only the knee overhook and sprawl slowly on this left hip down, sorry, right, my bad. Yeah, so that's bad. If the elbow is on the mat, go. They can't sprawl. It's really weird. So the hip is locked. So another step down. So here, the whizzer. I'm driving, and you can have two versions. This is very ambitious to go because they're gonna bump you back. So. And now you're gonna drive. If you're black Belge, you can do this. Kills the hip even better, and then shelf and everything. If you're not a black Belge, everybody can do it, you know. So always leaning. Yeah. So they will fight. They will try to yank you forward, and you can have limp arms in later. But everything's kind of like a back. You're bringing more complexities. One more time. So on your side, kind of like a, what I have now. PlayStation, yeah. Right, PlayStation position. I had Xbox first, but yeah. So PlayStation position, kind of you're here. Also very relaxing position. So now that's this. So it's not uncommon for you to have this. So you're here, you're driving. Now you're back here. Now you just have to get behind here and everything is familiar already. So it's slow, they will help. Let's go. And the more you go towards beginning, the more complex it gets. Because there's actually, let's say, two ways of getting underhooks, because one is hip down, head up, and another is head down, hip up. Usually it's, the balance. So I have to see how it goes. I did this class in Austria, like a couple of weeks ago. So that was second time teaching that. An hour, usually it's very short for that, but we'll see how we're going. So the purpose of those classes are always just like challenge your mind a little bit. Give you new ideas and stuff. It's not like, I don't get it, it's a bad class. I'm trying to show you certain things. They will, make you question certain things. And then that's, you take it and then you figure out what you do with that. Because now you start to look for that information, how is wrestlers doing it. In a very accurate context, I would say, don't watch what jiu-jitsu guys doing in wrestling. Watch what wrestlers are doing in wrestlers and adapt it to jiu-jitsu. So, because there's so many videos, people having laces down, they're doing like this, and their YouTube is full of those. YouTube is full of those things. So that's just terrible. Yeah. So usually when I teach classes, I usually say, jiu-jitsu. I can't do it with wrestling. It's like, it's gonna sound weird. But this is not. You shouldn't teach it anywhere. It's just only if you're a big guy and everybody else is small, you can do those things. But it's just laces down, no pressure. You pull. Usually it should be this block and then drive with your body. That makes mechanically more sense. It's all engineering. It's all levers and mechanics. So definitely, you have to have strength. That's why all the technical wrestlers in the world, they look like this. Yeah. There's no like skinny and just like a lot of overweight people doing martial arts. They're physical athletes and plus techniques. So you need strength, but definitely build technique first. Kind of, or in the same way. So that's your kind of idea. You can also have, let's say, the gray area would be here. And when you're not ready, don't do them. When you want, do them. Also, just try it maybe once and you go like, oh, it's not for me, but you used to try it and understand it's too early. So it's a gray area of you knowing where do you belong in the hierarchy of learning. And it's a very, very hard skill to have. Most people, you will mismeasure yourself most times. You think you're good, but actually you're not. Everybody thinks you look good when you're rolling, but when you film yourself rolling, you would go like, oh, that's me. Because your self-perception is so wrong, actually. Yeah? So usually people think if you have to measure yourself, you always measure yourself higher. Like you're smarter, you know this and that, but be modest. So you can also have this whizzer, and now the elbow is off. Smaller detail, maybe for higher belts. Try to sprawl. It's a fight, and I have to get there. And then also those things happen when they sprawl. You have peak outs and stuff. So all the complexity arises from there. So I take a very simple route for you, so I understand how underhook works. But the timing and everything they can do to mess it up, it's pretty big, because you have a pretty long road. But so I'm trying to introduce underhooks. So this transition has to be done fast, because that's the time when I insert the elbow. There's nothing between the legs, so omoplata can happen. So usually if I go here, then it's already driving. So that transition you have to master. The more you stay there, the more dangerous it is. They can do stuff. Yeah. So now a couple of other things about how to get underhook. So let's say usually knee slide or something. People fish, and that's how you get underhooks. Darces and marces and barces. So you should never fish. You should do this, and then everything is easy. Yeah. So you make them miss their spot. Underhook is a great power that comes with great responsibility. Because if you just in wrestling, instead of wrestling, if you just go, I want underhook, you will get thrown on your head like pretty much all the time. It's underhook and being strong and being in balance. So reaching, think about like boxing. I teach jiu-jitsu through boxing a lot because it makes more sense. Because I teach jiu-jitsu as boxing guard, like a guard, and then we fight from there, and then we defend. So this is my vision of jiu-jitsu. That for me it makes a lot of sense actually. So reaching is underhook is boxing. So you never just go like this and then there's no reaction. You want always a reaction. You want them to move or block or something else. And underhook is a reaching, so it comes with danger of tail punching back. So you have to know and when do reach. So one of the things we can do is a knee bump. We can go like here, knees on a mat. They can be knee slide or they can be like side to me. So how do I get there? If I just reach, there's so much trouble here. The whizzer and everything is kind of done. So this, and it already gives me a little bit between the knees area. So I feel if they went a little bit too much forward, I can go from here. Or if they have actually good base, I have to move back. So I would say this is better version because it expects that they're better. If I expect always people to be stupid, that's kind of a very dangerous road to take teaching jiu-jitsu to everybody. Everybody is kind of like these days. People maybe know me. I'm a back escaper and turtle guy and everything else. So and when people say in YouTube all the time, it's like, oh, I will take his back. I'm like, Always when you talking about things like taking the back, always think Eduardo Telles is in a group. And how he would react when you say like, I would take his back. You would I might try to attack his back, would be more accurate saying, because people have defenses. And if people don't, then it's, you know, it's sad in that sense. And the movement, what you have to do, let's go back here, is this very logical movement. Without the arms, you can also do it. And you can also add the arms. And then everything kind of makes sense. So one more time, and then, so you can have a knee slide, or you can have a like just side. So here, and usually inside, I don't reach. That's very dangerous. Just be here, let them come closer. It's a good position, and now you bump. If they're a little bit lower in the hips, I will, you know, full guard. If they're closer, then this usually helps. Elbow, the kneecap, the elbow on the mat. Maybe the knee, maybe I can't. Everything's the same. So I have to make them miss their spot. Then the likelihood of me getting the underhook is bigger. It's still a fight. Let's go. Yes. I actually use clapping to bring people in. Yes. You can read about it. I'm in that sense, I'd have to know why. I would recommend to you know why. Why drives people nuts. Why is you sometimes mostly annoying when you always ask why. But I don't know. I don't want to just do things. Some things I guess you do just because and you understand them. But usually why you do things. Why this methodology to run a class and why this methodology. It cannot be like both are good. Okay, what's the plus and minus? What I want to do? If people say like there's no right and wrong, yes there is. Just give it a more accurate objective and we can find out what is better and what is not. So all this, everybody's right, kind of I don't like it. Yeah? So there has to be like clapping without clapping. I'm just going to challenge you like why you do it. And I like it, it's not an argument. Yeah, so people like different things. Yeah, so always know why. I'm not against it. Just know why. Why do you use it? When do you use it? So, and if you just do like a 30-minute warm-up in your gym, I do 12. There's no need for most people to do long warm-ups. Why you do them? So always try to ask why. And if they don't have good answer, they should. So that's their job to figure it out. And it should make sense and logical and scientific and we're in an era of having books and stuff, so we can actually get pretty good pretty fast. So always ask why. Anyway, so let's do knee slide. We can start this, but depends again your belt level and stuff. By the way, the beginning gets more complex. That's what I said. So here, if somebody has I will never give you underhook. I don't know. I don't challenge you to give underhook, but it's very hard. So usually when people are so far, knee slide go. I'm just leaving my arm here. Go. I'm not getting you underhook. And if go slide. Yeah. So there's a chance now I can pull guard, or if they feel they wanna because I wanna pull guard, they wanna come a little bit forward. Stop. Now this happens again. And now I have to manage that. So not giving underhook is the cliche that goes around, but I actually mean what I just don't give people underhooks. So that will help you underhook game so much because if they have underhook, you can't have underhooks. So and then reaching and doing something stupid is kind of weird. So knee slide, go. And then they have a choice. And now I can have also this. It's more dangerous. I still go for a knee. And then I have to manage that transition because they have also skill and stuff. So think about now also do things. You can go this way, up, and you can have this way. So head up first, butt later, or head down first, butt up, and then butt up. So they both have their time. And they're kind of like a jab and cross because if you only go for an elbow up, then I will learn your patterns. I know it's coming. So I would suggest you should have a pair that matches, and then you can be more predictable. It's like that's why jab cross works on Olympic level till this day. Nobody can figure it out because it's patterns and timing and everything. So it could be like I'm doing a couple of shoulders and then I'm going to elbow. So I'm going to mess up what you want to do because there are different counters against those things. So try to be a little bit even less predictable. So, so one way, this elbow thing is more meeting them. Yeah, I'm going to more meet them. So then this means I'm going to go more with them. That means also that if I can do head up, I can do head down and butt up more if they fly more past me. And if they're more, more having a better base, they don't fly so much when I kick them in the butt, I go to my elbow. Because it covers the distance. I go closer or I go with them. So you can play with that a little bit. So if they're more, let's say, if I kick them in the butt, they're more stubborn, then I go here, yeah? If they fly more away, I can't go to my elbow because it's kind of heavy. So, and if you want to prioritize things, then elbow would be first, and then this would be second. Yeah, so, because I have to understand that I don't expect that people fall just like this. This is too perfect scenario. I would also expect that they have a better base, so I have to go to them. So, you can prioritize things how you want to learn. But both are important, and at the beginning doesn't matter really what you do, but you have to have both. So, have that, have the elbow, bump them, go up, bump them, and go. So really fundamental movements for Jiu-Jitsu, and then do it slowly. And they have to watch what you do and give feedback and blah, blah, blah. And always, they have to praise your good behavior. So I'm always famous for saying, like, we have to treat people like dogs. So because you want to make them to sit, you want to praise good behavior. Yeah, if they do something right, you're going to praise them. So always watch what they do. So if their back is straight, back is going to let them know, or if something is messed up, you can do a little bit like tap on the back or something, but give them good feedback. What they have to do better and also what they do good. So you can be a coach, learn to be a coach. And even if they do, even if they know that you're doing a good job, if they say it, it still feels good. That they are also noticing that. So try to be that. Try to be less Estonian. Yeah. Okay, let's go. Good question was, does it make sense to, if I bump them in the butt, that I just pull away, pull guard? Exactly. That's why you need the opposites. Your guard gets better when you have wrestling. Because if you don't have like wrestling for a sit-up guard, then people are usually in a bad stance against you because they're not afraid of wrestling. They don't come as low of a stance. And it's very hard to be on your kind of, let's say, if they respect your wrestling, they will kick you more on your back because they don't want you here. So you can play on your back more, because playing on your back means you have to have pressure. Because if they're just leaning away, you have to sit up. So you have to have always both. So in that sense, if somebody has a good underhook, that means maybe I defend something and you can just pull guard. But it's kind of hard to pull guard just like that. It's easier to have wrestling and then pull guard. It's easier to push them a little bit and then sit down. Not to sit down right away because it could be dangerous for passes and stuff. So it's always good to have opposites. So definitely this class is about kind of like underhooks and, simple ideas. And if anytime you want, I want to disengage and I want to get to neutral, because I was, let's say, in side control or something like this, then pull guard and we're good. So our best defense usually is from everywhere. I usually teach to stand up. Just stand up from everywhere, side control, back escapes, guard, turtle, everywhere, just stand up. Yeah, and then in a fight, I guess, if he would be the guy that attacks me, I would stand up. In MMA fight, I would turn back. In a jiu-jitsu fight, I would stand up and just go like, pull guard again. And in self-defense, I would just run away. Probably, yeah? So standing up kind of cancels all the jiu-jitsu. It's a very, very awesome skill to have. And then it transfers more to fighting, also MMA and everything else in all the areas. So I'm a big fan of, even people on my back, I will stand up to them. So not many people are advocating that, but in MMA you see it a lot. It's kind of effective also. So a couple of things more, underhook. So think about, have some time. So head there, yes. Usually how you taught underhooks. And definitely some people can specialize, but just overall, if you start beginning, teaching beginners. And underhook is definitely overemphasized in jiu-jitsu. Everybody underhooks, but it's actually a tool that comes with a, like I said, great responsibility. Because if you just underhook right now, I just knee up, and now you're in a world of trouble. Yeah? I can omoplata here, I can triangle, I can do a bunch of things. So it's usually, underhook is about controlling that knee. So in any way, what you do, I want to put my knee to there. So let's say even under here, go underhook, go here and go to knees. However you can, go back, yes. So that's they want to kick me with their own arm and my body. So it's kind of like not jiu-jitsu, yeah? So if you, and by counter, usually I bait that all the time. So go underhook. Knee up, and that's the way to get the arm and then start to pummel. So better way would be, first of all, don't be flat. Kind of flat, everything is hard to do. But now if you even have underhook, don't reach, just pumping, go pump, and everything is safer. And everything is better also for darces and marces because I can't lift my. It's kind of weird to do darce and marce when my hip is turned that way. I need everything more like here. Yeah, I need those, and then later I would maybe turn. But I want to have a bigger grip. If my knee is kind of bent, it's kind of, kind of hard to really do stuff. This gap is still bad, yeah? So they need to be closer. Even on your elbow, head up. So that, now everything is better. If the head is down, I can still mess with them. So all this head up and everything is very, very important. And then they drive me and stuff. That makes my arms go to the mat. If they don't drive, if they're on their knees, go to knees. There's no need for me to put arm on the mat. I can lean back myself. Kind of messes up their shoulder. If they're leaning, go. Harder to do darces and marces. Yeah, so it's always those simple things, little things will make the technique work. And it's usually back straight, head up, toes on the mat, driving, kind of like a wrestler, so to speak. So you can try it on very gray area of underhooks. We call this still, we have to find a new name, but it's a respect towards the guy. We call this a hawking. Yeah, still. Yeah. So, and try underhook like this. Just go really, without the bump, really strong underhook. Go. It's quite easy. You can go forward and you just step into submissions. But then try with the bump. Go. And then you mostly miss a lot of things. And then all the headlocks and stuff, you have to cover this. Because head has to be on a mat, it has to be glued, leg up. And now it's hip is dead. Now I can't have it. So try this kind of gray area drill. I will lose, they will win, but I give them that option and they can do it in the end. So I'm a coach, he's a student, let's go. So one thing, don't do this at the moment. Still think about the bump. This underhook, this is very, very dangerous for you, most of you. Because try to just underhook to go to knees, go. I whizzer it all the time. Yeah, and then the knee, this is better for me, this is worse, and I can slide and stuff. But still, now there's no way you're gonna reach for my knees. I'm pulling you up already and your knee is gone. And my legs are free, yeah? So, don't do it. Boxing, as a beginner, boxing is all this, yeah? You do this and you punch people in the face. Try at least, but you get tired very fast. Later, when you learn boxing, boxing is about this. Being in a distance, and then just touching them and going back. But their body does the work. And you have to be relaxed. And don't telegraph too much, yeah? Don't do this. And then, but just, pump. So that's the same thing. So think about, use more your body, not your arm. So use this and even little, maybe. Maybe just a little bit. But if it's a big move, I will catch it. And now you have to know so many things because you can get away with that. Because you can roll other way and spin out and stuff. But kind of bad to teach you something that as a default mistake. Understand? That you right away need another trick to counter that. What's the point? So I want to teach something that works as a default. So use your body more. I can try to whizzer you. I can try to put the knee on a mat. And if you bump me, go. So then it's even if I turn, stop. And then bad thing is the knee. See, the knee is coming up. So he has to drive the elbow on a mat. Yeah, now it's all good. Now I have a still chance. I can kick out. I can free my knee. I can lean back. I can go. Still a fight. but at least they're doing the right thing and they're getting somewhere. So definitely use the bump, and then arms less, and then if your bump is good, you can do a little bit help, yeah? But not like, that's like a big move. If you're a wrestler and if you have a crazy drive, you can actually have those moves, like if you have a crazy drive and you drive forward a lot, you can get away with that. But just going like here, doesn't work, yeah? Definitely at a beginner's level, yeah? Let's go. So, a couple of things. Some of you did a really fast sprawl to the forward, to the front headlock position, and let's say only, but it's possible because you see it coming. You know it's happening. In a fight, it's different. Yeah, you have your own will, and they have their thing, and they can, do this. So you miss that. You don't have that, advantage of what's coming. So you have more success. But even if they go front headlock, you pull guard. Or you go, maybe if they go, you go up, and you're back here. So think about neutral is always good. The class was about, I would say, against a good guy. This would mean, I would do, let's say, he would do 5 mistakes in a row. It's kind of much to ask. That's why I don't like combinations in Jiu-Jitsu mostly. That are taught like 5 steps combinations. This is very unlikely to happen in your life. Yeah, it's very specific. So this would work if I would get maybe here and already going. Because him missing this, him letting me up, him letting me win that transition with the ankle, him letting me lift the hip, him not doing anything while I do 5 things. It's kind of like, So this class was about, execution of how the underhook works. And reality, you would get to that maybe from the beginning to the half point, when you pull guard from there maybe, or from half point, you're in a scramble to get to half point and then you finish. But you still have to know the full move, yeah, because it can always be resetted by direction, because they have defense also there. So I always talk about, you have to manage your expectations. If you're taught to expect the wrong future, you will get depressed. That's why people go Jiu-Jitsu, because you think you can pull this off, and then you go to sparring, and then it's like, So you have to know what you can expect, and what is realistic, what's the realistic outcomes, and then you're happy, because I will never ask you to do this. The class is about being more aware of how underhook works, and not getting darst and marst, because, Omar, I use you. Example, we don't have time for that today, but let's say, on knees, please, on knees. Wizard. Here, if I would have this fight, he would feel like the headlocks are there, everything else, yeah? If I'm here, this is less space for everything. So he wants this because he's gonna wizard me and everything. So it's always about killing that space, being very close, and not giving him stuff, because they can, the more slack there is, they're better. The guillotine class was about killing the slack a lot, and the other way doesn't work. So the slack is the enemy. But it's good for defender. So that's what we're fighting for everything. And also one guy was doing, he grabbed like this knee, he grabbed like this double, yeah? And when you went this. So I was doing like arm on a mat. So there's 2 schools. This gives you better grip, but you're lower, because you have less base. And you're easier to sprawl on, but you're stronger to grab the leg. This gives you a higher base. It's harder to sprawl on you. You get more mobility to move around, do hip heist and do cutoffs, but it's a shallower grip of the knee. So then it's there's different schools. I like both. In some cases I have to grab, some cases I have to base. Depends also who I'm fighting. So both are in sense accurate. So you can do a bunch of stuff. And some of you went to the knees like this, and then build up your base. So that's middle ground. I was talking head up, butt down, another way, and some of you went like head down, butt down. That's the middle ground. You can also do that. But I would say, don't just prefer that, know everything, and become unpredictable. Because they're both used in some cases, they're right in some cases. In that sense, okay? Jab, cross, and hook, you need them. It's not only a jab or a cross, and I like only hooks. So, and also know why you like things. And know why you dislike them honestly. Yeah? Not like, So that's about it, because if you roll with me, there's open mat now. This is, if you get underhook and crossface, this like, I don't know, kind of never happens would be much to say, but kind of never happens. But I'm usually elbows close and I'm, you know, very, very tight. And when I reach, I have to cover distance. I'm always reaching like a punch. So be careful with reaching, and maybe you understand now more why you get caught and why you are not getting caught. So reaching is that transition. Yeah, so thanks a lot and see you around.